Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel where we talk all things true crime. I hope you appreciate today's case coverage and you'll consider subscribing to the channel. And if you love the video or you actually just appreciate the video and the case coverage today, I hope you'll consider hitting the like button. It is free to do and it really helps my channel grow. So basically today I wanted to get on here and show you these documents that we actually went over in my live yesterday. These were found on Twitter. Some other creators are saying that these were sent to them. These were sent to me by a Titan, one of my subscribers. So that's how I got this document. So it is on Twitter. So it's out there. I'm not putting anybody's name out there. I'm not doing anything like that. This is all on Twitter. So it's anybody can go and see this. So I just wanted to kind of read this for you guys. Oops, I'm trying to blow it up, but there we go. So you guys can see it a little better. But this is an explanation on how the roommates acted the day that they found the 4 murdered University of Idaho students in their home. So I wanted to go over this because if this is true, this explains a lot of things about the 2 roommates that were left unharmed. It makes sense. So just stick with me till the end and let me go ahead and get started without, further ado. So here we go. Explanation of unconscious call. I saw this comment on Facebook and wanted to share it here because it clarifies everything to stop people from speculating about the survivors. Supposedly, a few days after the murders, somebody was asking questions on the victim's past Instagram post about the survivors. 2 of the people who were at the house with the roommates when the call was made quickly came to their defense, and this is supposedly what they said. Keep in mind, this is all a legend. 2 people who claimed to be at the house when the roommates when the bodies were discovered quickly came to the surviving roommate's defense and wrote that the roommates woke up, went upstairs to the kitchen, and noticed the sliding glass door was open. And it was during that time they discovered Ethan. They didn't say where he was found on that floor, but that it was so horrific that both girls went into shock and ran out of the house. One of the roommates fainted and the other was beyond hysterical and not making any sense. Their frantic actions while coming out of the house caught the attention of people walking past. The people responding on the victim's Instagram claimed to be 2 of those people. They implied that the roommate who fainted had already dialed 911, but was so distraught that she fainted before she could give any info that the dispatcher could understand. I'm going to stop right there for just a second. And we did speak about this on my live prior to this document being put out there. And I did say maybe the roommate did, because the 911 call was made on a roommate's phone, but it was made by somebody other than the roommate. Normally you have a passcode on your phone. So I said in the live, maybe that person was already calling 911. Something happened where they wanted a shock and someone had to take the phone and go ahead and proceed with the phone call. Excuse me, guys. So I just thought that was very interesting. But it says the only info that the bystander who picked up the roommate's phone could give the 911 dispatcher was, just saw her friend run out of the house and faint. I got to go back so I can give you guys the next slide here. Let me go back here and then, okay. It says how the 911 call was made, the roommate's phone, and by someone else. I just want to make sure I got this right. Okay. Yeah. So while that bystander was on the phone with 911, the other roommate was hysterically trying to explain that something was wrong with Ethan. By this point, several more people had stopped to see what was happening, and 1 or 2 of them went into the house to see if they could help him. Sorry, that was a little hard to read. There were multiple people in the yard at this time, and those people began contacting their friends that someone in the house was badly hurt. Someone called Ethan's brother Hunter to tell him something was wrong with his brother because he lived close to the house, and someone called one of the other victims' boyfriends as he was also Ethan's best friend. They didn't go into detail on either, if either of those boys had arrived before the paramedics did, but it did kind of sound like they did. I hope and I pray that his brother, Ethan's brother Hunter, did not see him. I pray that. They didn't go into detail on if either of the boys had arrived before the paramedics did, but it did kind of sound like they did. They didn't go into detail on what kind of injuries Ethan suffered. They also didn't say if anyone went to check on the other roommates before the paramedics arrived, but it somewhat implied that someone had. The only details they gave about the scene itself was that it was incomprehensible, bloody. While those people were in the house checking on Ethan and possibly the other roommates, the paramedics arrived to a very chaotic scene, believing that they were to access an unconscious person outside, but were redirected to go inside to help someone who was hurt very badly. So they walked into the house unaware that it was a crime scene, contaminated most of everything on the second floor. Now I gotta go back. Let me see. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. With those people that were in the house checking on Ethan and possibly the other roommates, the paramedics arrived to a very chaotic scene. And that's, I was reading that before. Where it said that it was a chaotic mess. It doesn't sound like the roommates were roaming through the house, carelessly contaminating everything, fully aware that their friends had been murdered. It sounds like the scene was contaminated by numerous people who were trying to help, unaware and unable to comprehend what they were looking at, that it was a crime scene. And that does make sense to me. My heart breaks for these two poor innocent young females. Not only have they experienced a trauma so brutal that it cannot change who they are at their core, but they also have to live with the fear that someone might be coming for them, and that the grief of loss of 4 friends plus a life that they once had that will never exist again. And with that, and if that wasn't traumatizing enough, they also get to live with millions of people publicly criticizing, persecuting, and incorrectly judging them for actions people assume they may have or not have taken. Some of the comments left on Instagram, pictures of the victims, especially the ones with survivors were tagged in, were beyond nasty, if not downright cruel. I don't understand how our society became so inhumane. It sounds like the 2 surviving roommates' behaviors were 100% appropriate for the situation they found themselves in. And I agree. Like I said, this is all alleged, but I think it explains a lot. I am marking this as information rather than theory because I am not making a theory myself. I am just relying on information given by the individuals who were there when the call was made. So that's the gist of the 911 call. I am going to come on live today and read it again. I'm actually going to print it all out and read it. That way I get every single, letter, because sometimes it cuts you off, on Twitter, it'll cut half of the message off. So I want to make sure that we have a clear understanding of the 911 call and how that kind of went down. This is all alleged, but these pieces do fit very, very well. So I wanted to get that out for you this morning because we did go over it on my live yesterday, and some people don't watch the lives because they are kind of long, but I'm telling you guys, they have a lot of really good information in them. So make sure to, catch us on the next live. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so by clicking the subscribe button, the bell icon to be alerted to all new videos. And if you appreciate this video today, please hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in a couple hours. Bye, guys.